If you really want to eliminate stress from your life, here's what you have to do. Because what I'm really going to talk to you about is how you can become a radically different person, think differently, have a different model of why am I here, what is it all about. And when you become such a person, you don't have to eliminate stress. It kind of goes away by itself. I've asked thousands of people on 6 continents, why is there stress in your life? And of course, they've given me dozens of answers. There is one reason and one reason only that you feel stress, and that is that you have a very rigid idea of this is the way the universe should be, and the universe is not playing ball with you. Your entire life has been an attempt to control some part of your environment, some part of the universe. Your entire life is an endless quest to have control. This is important. So do you get what I'm saying? Yes? That's what you're doing your entire life. You're trying to have control. Well, I have some news for you. You do not have control. Further, you never had control. Wait, it gets better. You never will have control. What you have is the illusion of control. Now, the illusion of control will break down in your life. In every one of your lives, it will break down sooner or later. And if you're firmly wedded to the illusion of control, that's when you go to pieces. Now, I'm not knocking the illusion of control. It is a wonderful creation. That's what makes you get up in the morning and strive and do all of the things that give meaning to your life and accomplishment. But it's wonderful to use the illusion of control knowing that that is the illusion of control. Because when it breaks down, and it will sooner or later in every one of your lives, you don't go to pieces. You simply say, this is where the illusion broke down. Where do I go from here? So, given the truth that you never have control, you never had it, how can you eliminate stress and cultivate resilience? Well, I want to share some concepts with you. Concept number 1 is mental chatter, which is the internal monologue that you have going on in your head all the time. It begins when you get up in the morning, is with you right through the day, is with you now. But in the short time I've been speaking, how many of you have already gone someplace else? What am I going to have for lunch? Who do I have to call? Right? I rest my case. All of that is mental chatter, and I invite you to think of it. Whatever situation you are in, your mental chatter about that situation makes it an order of magnitude worse. Then we have mental models, and a mental model is a notion you have that this is the way the world works. But this is not the way the world works. It's your model of this is the way the world works. And the more you believe in your model of this is the way the world works, the more evidence you seem to get that this in fact is the way the world works, and very soon you built a silo around yourself that's so thick you can't break out of it. Your mental chatter, the mental chatter that you entertain, and the mental models that you hold dictate your life. You're all living in a matrix. If any of you have seen the movie, the original Matrix, we're all living in a matrix. The only difference is this was not constructed by an alien civilization out to get you. You constructed it with your mental models and your mental chatter. But the more important point is it really doesn't matter. You have the choice of determining what is the emotional domain you occupy. In all likelihood, you did not even recognize that you had a choice, and you exercised that choice. But now that I'm pointing it out to you explicitly, do you recognize that? You had a choice, and you chose to exercise that choice, and you never even recognized that you actually exercised a choice. The reason you exercised the choice you did is because of the mental chatter you entertain and the mental models you hold. That's how important these concepts are. I will go further. Every time you have a situation in your life that you find unpleasant and it persists, not some of the time, not most of the time, every time you have a situation in your life, you find it unpleasant and it persists, you are using one or more mental models that are not serving you well. And when you start making changes in those mental models, you'll be astonished how quickly the situation will resolve itself. We spend too much of our emotional energy on the 2, 3, or 4 things that we think are wrong in our lives. And we entirely ignore the 30, 40, 50, 200 things which are pretty darn good in our lives. We have an unfortunate habit of sticking labels on things. Any event that happens in our head, we immediately decide this is good or this is bad. It does a tremendous amount of damage to us. Can you think of anything that happened in your life that at the time it happened, you thought this is terrible? But you can now look back upon it and say, gee, that was actually pretty good. So if something happened to you in the past that at the time it happened you thought was terrible, but you can now look back and say it was actually pretty good, why are you in a hurry to label anything that happens now bad? Is there any possible way in which in X years it could turn out to be pretty good? Just pausing to consider that question will take you to a different emotional domain. And if you then take the next step and say, is there anything I can do to make that happen? You move into a realm of possibility, and courses of action will open up to you that you never would have considered before. Einstein said the most important decision you'll ever make is the universe friendly? Most of us believe that the universe is indifferent to us, it doesn't know we exist and couldn't care less. Some of the times it seems to be working for us, some of the times it seems to be working against us. But what if that wasn't true? What if the universe was actually benevolent? What if it not only knew you existed but was well disposed towards you? Now, friends don't shaft friends, do they? No. So if it was a benevolent universe, it actively gives you exactly what you need for your growth. It may not be what you want, but it is exactly what you need. What if the universe was like that? It gives you stuff, it's not what you wanted. You want to get promoted, you get a pink slip. But maybe what if this was exactly what you needed at this stage? Regardless of whether or not the universe is benevolent, if you believe the universe was benevolent, your life would improve dramatically.